Okay, it's our catch up with Muckamore First 11 captain Neil Gill to talk about the last couple of games. And we'll start with Belfast on last Thursday, which was a T20 rearranged match. They had to go to a T20 here on Thursday. It's a good win, but you know, Ben Caddett scored a ton. You know.
Yeah, Ben was smashing it. 136, I think he got. There was 150 there for him when he hit one to the pro. On the Astro, short boundary this side, but it wouldn't have really mattered about the boundary size because he was hitting some big balls. Hits the ball as hard as anyone I've played with. The noise off the bat,
it's great.
It's unreal. Kylan was playing the supporting act really, getting one, getting the RN. He ended up with 74, batted lovely. Will do Kylan the world of good because he's had a couple of weeks there where he hasn't really got runs. He got 30 at Armagh, but you know, that'll give him confidence. But we ended up with 244 in, I'm going to say 19 overs it was. We lost one over. It was later, it was just a 16. They were chasing 211. It was cold, it was wet. We were rushing to get 5 overs in to make sure we got a game in because it was looking pretty dark out there.
It had to be one of the worst evenings. I mean, it was wet, cold, you know, windy, everything was wrong. I mean, he dropped a few catches, you could see, you know.
Yeah, no, it was scrappy to say the least. What we did do, we gave the crowd plenty of entertainment. It was actually for a cold, dark night. It was a good wee crowd, and they were entertained. There was plenty of runs, there was plenty of calamities in the field, misfields, drop catches, you know, and boys were having to bowl off 2 paces because it was that wet as well, which, you know, it's just a batsman's dream.
So we go back to Kylan and Ben, obviously, just short of a 200 first wicket partnership. It was good. As someone who was watching like myself, it was great fun to watch, and you know, probably wasn't the purest a good game of cricket, but certainly good fun and good crack. Like,
no, it was good. It was good. Now it's as I say, the Astro just. I think it's safe to say any time I've seen Ben batting a good deck, he's got runs. You know, so you know, hopefully, you know, next year if we do get up into the Premier League, that bodes well. You know, better wickets in the Premier League, better grounds, ball coming on a bit. You can see there in the Astro, you can see at Warringstown, a couple of innings he's had down there. Good decks, you know, he gets runs.
So that's so that takes you 10 from 10, and then we'll go on 11 from 11 against Dundrum on Saturday. Again, a wet day kind of thing, and
it's just horrendous at the minute. It's depressing, Dave. We're turning up every Saturday or Sunday, and we're not even getting the warm up in because we're working on the ground, pulling tarpaulins on, pulling them off. You know, trying to get the wicket dry with an industrial heater. We went and bought a heater. Which we had on a wet patch, and it does a great job, but it just would be lovely to turn up. You know, we got a good warm-up in yesterday, the weather was lovely, and then the heavens opened, and that ground is just like a bog. You know, so on Saturday, the Dundrum game, the wicket was soft, but it was getting there. You know, it was hard work to bat on. Games were just with 35 overs. We ended up, and it was great fair play to the umpires too. They were brilliant, Alan Neil and Richard Johnson. You know, they were here to play cricket. There was no fluffing about, so it was great. 35 overs. We ended up with 150.
You were lucky to get 150.
We were. Do you know what? Again, I've spoken in my last interview about the depth in the batting.
Yeah.
You've Pavin coming in there at 9, Ted Britton at 8.
The top scored Ted.
You know. You've Arnie at 11. You've Hendo there. Hendo didn't come off, but Hendo comes off in day. So there's not one of us that can hold a bat. You know, we needed that depth, and as I said that in my interview, whether it be with the ball or whether it's with a bat, that's what's got us over the line. The depth in both. So everyone got in, good starts. We all got 10s, 15s. Threw it away. A lot of us. It wasn't down to the wicket. It was down to ourselves, myself included. You know, I hit one down cow's throat. Stupidly, but we sort of thought 150 and 35 out there on a slow, hard deck with our bowling attack was enough. And then I was able to get 3 early wickets, which sort of put the game to bed. They were 10 for 3 or 13 for 3, I think it was. And then you've the usual boys coming on, Sats and boys like that coming on, you know.
In fairness though, they made you work for your wickets, didn't they? I mean, they certainly weren't going for the runs, but they were making sure that you had to almost bowl every over to beat them.
Yeah, we Gavin McNerlin came in. Gavin's a good cricketer, he can bat, you know, and he must have got 20 odd. I certainly helped him, I dropped him a couple of times. I was getting a bit of stick from the crowd. Again, tomorrow night it's safe to say we're having a 1 hour fielding session tomorrow night. It's to be a dry night, so yeah. Listen, the fielding hasn't been good the last 3-4 weeks, Dave. So I think that's down to us not being able to train on the ground with the weather matches being here. So, but yeah, look, another win, and we're 11 out of 11. So you know, unfortunately, yesterday's game we gave it every chance, but just couldn't get going against Craigie. So this week we've got Friday with a T20, which will be on the mat again out here against Donaghcloney, and then we're away to Craigie Saturday. And then we're going to have Lauravale the following Thursday, and then home to Ballymena.
So plenty of cricket then.
There's loads of cricket still. Unfortunately, there are quite a few just over games as well, but it's just been horrendous.
So still looking good for promotion then, obviously.
So far so good, as I say, 11 out of 11. We just need to again keep taking it each game as it comes, and until we're officially over the line, we'll not count our chickens, you know.
Brilliant. So okay, Neil, thanks a lot for we'll talk to you again soon.
Cheers.